We are vastly superior to humans. You know it to be true, so do not resist us. Coming to you live by a tape-delayed basis by means of digital distribution. This is Extreme Hardcore Nerds. Here are your hosts.
Look over there. Riding into town to save the day once again. It's time to round up your pulls and ride to the comic store. Here is your Extreme Hardcore Nerds Weekly Comics Report.
Welcome back. It is now time for us to discuss comics. We talk nothing but comics. We talk everything comics. It's also that time of the day where I turn it over to our resident comic nerd himself, Gunnar Sipper, as he brings us all the news from pages and panels throughout the week. So, with that all having been said, Gunnar, what is new in the world of comics this week?
I hear there's a job application for an auctioneer.
No, I'm not that good.
You fooled me. Because
something tells me one person. Something tells me one person makes one face in that crowd and he's done. Which is why I would be showing up to that job every day.
I could so see it.
No. What we'd have to do is just get like someone he hates to show up and just sit front row and bid on everything.
Oh, me.
I've got $300. I've got $300. Can we make a call to Leo real quick?
We just need you to come out here and buy things. It's
Our friend is really sick and this is a charity event.
Yeah, all of a sudden it's just like, all right, now we have item 184 here. Can I get $10, $10, $5, 10 again, 10? Can I open it? I have a question. Shut up, you. All right, we're looking for $10 here. Does anyone want me to $10 for this item here?
No, see, because he would have the dramatic entrance.
Yes.
Kick in the door. I'm Leonardo fucking DiCaprio. I'm here to place bids. No, I'm here to place bids and chew gum. And I'm all out of
You are not soiling that great scene with bringing in that asshole's presence.
Yes. Ruin it.
Fuck you.
So we were supposed to talk about comics
apparently. Going off all this nerd rage now to retaliate for what he went off of. Matt Fraction has been confirmed as the new man in charge of Marvel's First Family, writing relaunches of both Fantastic Four and the spin-off title FF.
Yeah, Future Foundation.
I tried it. I didn't like it.
Okay.
So maybe the relaunch will be better, because with the launch of FF, or the relaunch, the children of the Reeds are going on a road trip with Uncle Johnny and Uncle Ben through space and time.
Yeah.
And you know the best part, this will take a year. So at least 12 issues. So. But
Magic
to replace
Rainbow?
them,
or Magic,
to replace them, we will be getting She-Hulk, Ant-Man, Medusa, and new Miss Thing to replace them. And Miss Thing is a woman in the Thing suit.
Okay.
So she looks really weird when you first see it, because it's the Thing body.
I was wondering about that.
So I didn't know what it was at first either, and when I looked into it,
it's like did they just get finally tired of Alicia and they had to make Ben a girlfriend that was his own size?
So you know, in the second movie, unfortunately, when he starts losing his powers and like kind of switching back and forth or whatever.
Yep.
I don't really remember. Anyways, you know when he loses his powers or whatever, there is a time where they still need him as a part of the team. So they built a Thing suit for him to wear if he's powered down for an extended period of time.
Okay.
That's what she'll be wearing.
Okay.
So, kind of and I also kind of think it's kind of unnecessary. You already have She-Hulk.
Yeah.
Why do you need?
Why do you need another
powerhouse?
Yeah. So, oh well, it'll be interesting. I might look into this relaunch just because of the team dynamic, and I'll follow it for maybe that year. I don't know.
So it's not a reboot, huh?
It's not a reboot. It's a relaunch. They're going on vacation.
What the heck was that?
Marvel now!
Rick Remender and John Romita Jr.'s Captain America will not have a focus on World War II, trying to avoid flashbacks, but instead try to focus more on Steve's childhood, growing up, and his later experiences in his 20s and 30s. So,
okay.
Probably. It's hard to say. and this really reinforces that.
So I was gonna say
it's not a reboot because we already know Captain America's that World War II guy. You know.
Well, it doesn't have to be a reboot if you don't change, or just because you're not changing the origin. Superman still came from Krypton.
Really?
Are you sure?
Bruce still lost his parents.
What? Spoiler alert.
I thought
Diana still came from Paradise Island, except she just got a new daddy.
I was gonna say, are you sure on the Wonder Woman one? Because hasn't her origin changed like 100 times?
Quite a few.
No, no. The origin is stayed the same, except who's her daddy.
Ah.
I would ask at one point she was
daddy?
a clone.
Yeah.
So.
You're her daddy?
Anyways,
Damn straight.
moving over to IDW. IDW has announced a creator-centric Judge Dredd hardcover and recolored classic issues.
So yep, they're bringing all the old Judge Dredd issues into one compendium and putting them together.
Pulling them out of the bin and putting them all together for us to see.
Yep. Hopping over here. V for Vendetta co-creator David Lloyd launches a digital imprint, Aces Weekly. It will be released as a 7-weekly issue, forming one volume. Each issue will be 18 pages, containing at least 3 pages from 6 contributors, plus artist sketches from other extras. A break in publication will follow before the next 7-issue volume begins.
Except we have no idea what
it's about.
Yeah.
Not yet, yeah.
I mean, concept's cool, I guess.
Yeah.
So, I mean...
Usually that's almost all you have to go off sometimes, so...
Yeah, I feel like I think the idea of the project's more important than the subject.
Yeah, but the only thing with this is I feel like I'm going to get like a schism effect, or you know, something where you have like 3 pages by one artist, and then you have 3 pages by a different artist, and then 3 pages by a different art. I especially if they're going to be.
Is it possible to get motion sickness from a comic?
Yeah, I mean,
certain Spider-Man ones where you feel that way. There's one in After the Ultimatum where the art style has changed like 3 or 4 times, and I was just confused and scared and like, what are you doing? Brian, don't do this to me. I thought we were friends.
So I mean, yeah, that's my only worry with this.
But the thing that I never understand why they can't do that is it's not that freaking hard to do. Like the way I always imagined it is have one writer write, or have one artist do like let's. I'm trying to think of like an example.
It's actually much harder than you think.
Well, kind of like they do with like Legends of the Dark Knight. You have one writer and one artist on one set, and then once that set's done, if you want to go with a different writer and different artist, you know, at least it's one contained story.
That's what I'm kind of trying to get to. But I was thinking more of Batman Incorporated, where let's say you have the Batman story, right? And then you can have your villain story, and then you have the team story.
Yep.
Have one artist do the Batman story, one artist do the villain stuff, one artist do the thing. So they're still contained, but in one issue, so you can follow it along. So if your art style changes, okay, now we're back to this.
Okay.
Like, that's the way I always see working. Well,
it's kind of the way that they do Batwoman. I mean, you've got like when she's actually in costume, you've got more of that water painting kind of
change
feel, and then like when she's just when she's out of costume, when she's her normal self, you know, it's that more traditional paneled and, you know, stenciled in.
True, but we can all tell who the artist is. That's the thing.
Yeah.
It's all the same guy. When they did change artist, you could easily tell. They were still trying to do the same stuff, but you could easily tell it wasn't him anymore.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's just like Wonder Woman with those couple issues where Cliff Chang wasn't on.
Yeah.
It's like you got through them and they looked okay. I'm not saying, but this last issue, Cliff was back, and you could totally tell that Cliff was back.
I mean, you can tell that when you have a consistent writer take a break and the person tries to replicate their style or keep it consistent.
Mm-hmm. This isn't it's not manga. That's the problem. You can't. Everyone is so enthralled with having their own set style or their own way of doing it when a lot of times when they try to recreate it, it doesn't come off the right way.
Where is it
and then your idea does actually sound interesting enough to work, where they have an artist set to a specific motif, so that when it's actually a literal, not just a literal change, but also a physical one, so you can tell that we're at a different point, and you know that this is that something else has changed, so you know to actually shift gears to, okay, well, now we're on the villain's part. I've switched art styles again. Okay, now we're on the hero's part. Okay, switch styles again. Now we're in the team's part. So that's actually quite helpful. But
the only line that you walk with doing that is, what if one art style clashes
so hard,
and it's like, okay, and I really like the way this part's drawn, but I absolutely hate
it's the
this.
cover art effect all over it, of a chance of, this thing looks beautiful, and you open up and, oh my god, what have I just read?
I've had that.
Static Shock issue 8, I think.
I know there have been a couple things like on Comixology that'll be like free reads where and you're totally going off covers most of the time and like, hey, this looks interesting, I'll give it a try now. But I'm like, oh god, this was not what the cover said.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, I get that a lot on my cell phone.
It's definitely frightening when you have
yes,
to get that.
I read Comixology on my cell phone, my Apple phone.
You're reading comics.
I know.
So Archie, or Archina, is getting magically gender swapped in Archie number 636.
Yes, the whole world is doing a gender flop.
I thought they've already done this before.
Yeah, they did with Betty and Veronica.
Okay.
Oh, that's what it was.
They swapped them.
Well, yeah, but wasn't it when they switched Betty and Veronica, didn't they switch Archie too?
I believe so.
I just feel like this is I feel like they're redoing it, but going off her perspective.
They're just doing it in a more larger scale.
I don't know.
Because this is supposed to be every character is going to get flip flopped.
See, because I swear that they've done this already with Archie, but I could be wrong.
Okay, yeah, I don't follow Archie at all, so
just the big things, really.
Not me cup of tea.
Yeah, not. I used to get what's his friend with the crown? Jughead. Yeah, I used to read some of those. Remind me to tell you about his hat. It's actually a pretty interesting story.
Okay.
Yeah.
Scary.
So, anyways, Jason Aaron and Asad Ribic will relaunch Thor as the God of Thunder for Marvel Now.
Marvel Now!
Every time?
Every time. I'm sorry, it's just not Marvel Now, it's Marvel Now!
Only if he goes.
I have to say it with the Austrian accent!
Of course, there's the racism.
Only if he goes into the source like that.
I'm here for Marvel Now!
Only if he does it there.
You don't think I'd do it, do you?
I just want to see how much shame you have. It's always fun to see someone's limits come out.
What can you expect from Gillen and Land's new run on Iron Man? Well, multiple armors and single issues. The new series will feature constantly updating, constantly changing armors depending on what Stark needs at any moment in time.
So, yeah, the way I read that and the way it was presented was that every Iron Man issue is going to be a self-contained issue featuring a new armor every week or a new style or, yeah. So they're trying to make it that every issue is a jumping on point.
Okay.
If I read it correctly.
So it's going to be a crappy run, so we have to deal with it for about 6 issues till we get someone new?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
That's, sometimes that's how it is.
I like the idea of the multiple armor thing because I thought they already did that. And
well, yeah, I mean, in Stark Tower, Tony's got an armory that's got like 300 suits in it.
I mean, everyone, like... I feel like there have been times where I'll be reading a comic and Iron Man will appear and he'll be wearing one suit and he'll appear like later in the comic and he'll be wearing something completely different. I'm like, I'm just going to roll with it. Not even going to question it because I'm sure he's got a reason.
He doesn't need to tell us. It's Tony Stark.
He's rich enough to do whatever the hell he wants.
Well, it's just like in the animated series, he had his underwater one, he had his volcano one, he had his regular one.
Yeah.
And then he has the updated versions of all of them too.
Yep.
So.
He had the Hulkbuster one. He's got.
It's the most amazing thing. It's like you created a suit that supposedly just, the the new ultimate weapon. It's like, yeah, but now I need to create 300 replicas of them because of my always over dominating situational changes. It's like, really? Couldn't just make one that can encompass all these things? Maybe
Yeah.
no.
I just want to. No, never mind.
Yeah, just let it go.
I don't want anything from you anymore.
No, learn to be sad and just move on.
Former Superboy writer Carl Kessel sells classic comic collection to pay for his son's medical bills. Kessel is putting up his childhood treasures to help pay for the medical expenses of his newly adopted son, who was born to a mother who was in treatment for heroin addiction. The baby is home and healthy now, but even with insurance, the family's medical expenses could be as high as $50,000.
Oof. Thank you, and heroin parents.
Yep. So kind of going off of the whole like, well, the Heroes Fund and stuff like that, where it's like, that's where stuff like this should be contributing.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, yeah, he's got to
Keep it in your damn hands, man. Put it down.
gonna drop the ball again.
There you go. It won't go away now.
Watch it roll off.
That's what I was waiting for. But no, yeah. So I mean, yeah, to cover all of the expenses and stuff like that. I mean, yeah, he's got to go and sell his collection.
I feel like there's got to be at some point in his life where this time is going to come where you sell your collection.
Yeah.
So
It'll happen to all of us eventually. It's just kind of sad though that, he's literally, well, no, even just for the fact of, he more or less saved this kid from a terrible parent and a terrible situation, and I'm surprised that this didn't come with some kind of help to, get
I don't see why
treatment.
he's being punished for this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
At
surprised
least
that there
that's the
wouldn't
way
be
it makes it
treatment
feel.
for this. It's like, it's like we kind of knew that something bad would probably come out of she was addicted to heroin.
Yeah.
It's not often that you hear children born with addicted to heroin parents that they come out fine.
Yeah.
very
But
often.
the worst part is too is like this is just for the insurance. Like he could live his whole life and not have a single problem, and they're still paying a crap load of money for
Because
just in case.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is
The
yeah.
system is flawed in
many ways.
multiple
There's
ways.
more than the system is flawed.
Yeah.
Maybe you should consider going to Canada.
Well, I did.
I actually heard something interesting about them, but I'll talk about that in the car.
I did.
Our home and native land.
Blame Canada. Blame Canada. Okay. Yeah, we just had to take a serious moment and had to really crank it down there a bit. Back in the gutter. Gunner?
It's so hard because I have all this hate for both of you, and I don't know what to do with it, and I just feel helpless.
How much hate do you have for me?
I don't even want to go there.
I have none because I know it's pointless.
I'm still waiting for NASA to get back to me on the calculations.
What the
Hey.
you?
What?
What did I ever do to you?
It was sarcasm.
Oh.
Oh, Jesus
be part
Christ.
of the crowd and get hated.
Oh, Kirk felt that one.
He's an invisible glass case of emotion.
Well, in other news, Top Cow hit Cyberforce Kickstarter goal.
Yay, we have a new comic coming.
Yep.
Yep. From Kickstarter. I saw I know this isn't exactly comic related, but it's Kickstarter related. For board games and card games, Kickstarter has increased by 300%. I want to say. I might have to get back to you on that number, but the amount of money being donated and backers has exponentially increased within the last year.
I believe it.
I'm waiting for the
that's-
first big publisher to do it,
I
just so I can start laughing.
it's only
A matter of
I mean,
time.
yeah. But I at least with board games it works just because that's a whole nother conversation for the system. I could see that success starting to trickle into some of these other things.
Mhm.
And I think for comics, this is really where a lot of those smaller publishers and independent.
I was going to say a lot of independent guys or up-and-coming guys, this is where they're going to get their break.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've
So-
already had talks about it.
I
so.
wanted to be hated.
So, hopping over,
Okay.
Wonderland #1 is the best-selling Zenescope title ever. didn't you pick this up?
I think he
Not
did,
yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if there are any copies.
Well,
Usually the Wonderland ones I read in trade. So.
okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
I remember hearing that they're on the third
Yep, third or
fourth
printing.
printing of that because it's
Yeah.
just going out so fast. I was like, wow, jeez.
Yeah, no, they're really good stories.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know they are. I did not expect them to be, quite as popular. Usually every now and then, maybe one issue or so gets really great, and it's like, oh, they have this one artist, and everybody gets that one. But I mean, just like right off the back.
I mean, I'm excited to see what they're gonna do with the Robin Hood one.
That's one I am kind of
Is this
interested
like
in.
the Fable, like a Fables related thing?
It's not
No,
necessarily
it's just
related.
that they take classic
Fable
characters.
stories.
That idea.
Yeah, because I mean, their biggest run is the Grimm's Fairy Tales books.
Okay.
So, and then I mean, basically they're just doing. They'll find like separate franchises. Like they just did the Jungle Book. They're doing Robin Hood. They have the Alice in Wonderlands and
Yeah.
stuff like that, where they'll do like little small arcs. Like I know, like Fly. They're finally coming back with the second volume of that, or the next 5 or 6 issues, and I have the first one, and that's actually pretty decent.
Okay.
So.
That part got cut off. Hold on a second. Transfusion, I think is how they pronounce it, Publishing, has announced the official comic book adaptation of the cult classic Rocky Horror Picture Show. It will be collected and released in October 2000.
Didn't we talk about this?
I
2
totally
weeks ago?
saw this, and I was like, I'm probably going to have to get this. I'm probably going to have to get 2 copies because I know I'm going to have to give this to somebody.
I was going to say probably not because I am probably also going to have to get this.
Yeah, I definitely know I'll be picking up 2 of them.
This will be a Christmas gift for someone for sure.
Who doesn't want to do a little dress up now?
Okay.
Let's do the time warp again.
I think
I've always
Damn
wanted
it,
to be
Is comics-
the assistant or the butler guy.
I want to be Riff Raff.
I want to be
Are we really going to have this fight?
Yeah.
Are we seriously going to have this fight about who
Yeah.
gets to play what?
yeah.
Afterwards.
Dibs.
No, you dye your hair blonde, you be Rocky Horror.
No, you. And he's going to be.
No, he'll be Frankenfurter.
Oh, that works. Anyways.
I'm such better at casting. Come on.
This is taking a little bit longer. Keep it going. Arcana Comics recently learned that the creator of the Arcana title Shadow Flame and Ripperman, Joe Martino, has launched a Kickstarter campaign to raise funds for his new project, The Mighty Titan, which takes Joe's own cancer story and wraps it in a superhero shell.
Be kind of interesting to
Yeah.
read.
Yeah. So, more
Superhero
examples of
based on your
Kickstarter.
own real life.
Yeah. In September, Image Comics will bring the first volume of Valentine, Alex de Campe's acclaimed digital comic, to print as a 352-page trade paperback. So,
Not counted at this one.
I was gonna say that's probably one that, as long as since it's on Comixology, just buy the first issue quick and see
Check
what
it out.
happens.
yeah. Marvel and Comixology, their accounts are now synced.
Yep.
So, is that the like Marvel digital comic?
Yep.
Okay.
The Marvel side and
Cool.
Comixology. So everything.
I can finally redeem my Marvel comics without having to make an account.
There you go.
So, because Jordan has a Comixology.
Okay.
thing, so I'll just redeem them on there. So, cool.
All good.
Now I have an excuse for making her read Ultimate Spider-Man. The world is... Stars are aligning.
Stars.
DC has announced that Pete Wood
the
is
Al
filling
Ghul
in for
star
Aquaman on issue number 14, and a whole bunch of guest writers and artists will be working on Batman Legends of the Dark Knight digital series, but we knew that.
We knew that.
Yeah, I was gonna say I got some of the list there, but they just.
Yeah. To go over the list above.
Yep.
Yep. The list includes Becky Cloonan, who will guest art in Batman number 12.
I've seen the previews for that. That looks pretty cool.
Didn't Batman 12 just come out?
I don't know if
sure it
it's
came out.
I don't know if it's
Pretty sure
out.
it came out Wednesday.
Okay.
Pretty sure I read it.
Well, then I'm pretty sure
it's
I'll
only
be
okay.
I'm pretty sure
the art's not that awesome.
I'm pretty sure
I'm
I'll get
sorry,
my copy sometime in the mail this week.
I don't remember. I only remember them just reviewing it, and usually when they do a review, it's
because
a week ahead.
Court of the Owls ended with 11, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I read it. It's, okay. They're leading into another arc. It's
We're really more.
That's what
waiting
Scott Snyder
for-
does. He does arcs.
yeah.
But we're all just waiting for time so that we can get to October because all we want is a death in the family
Yeah.
That's what
or
it.
death
Because
of the family.
because I mean this is just a single issue,
Yeah.
and then of course September is going to be 0 month.
That's what
And-
they said at the end of the issue. Is like next month is Batman's 0 issue.
Yep. Which I'm going to do the same thing for those that I did for the new 52. I'm just going
Fine.
to
Wait for the
every
company.
issue.
I'm just going to buy the Compendium when it comes out.
Oh, I was gonna say I thought you.
I'm gonna collect the individuals.
I mean, there were some of the individuals that I got
Yeah.
that I really wanted to read, but for the most part, I just collected the big
Okay.
book.
That's fine. So okay.
So it's I'm going to do this. I'm going to do the same thing for.
Yeah. Dial H will see David Lapham step in with issue 6. Nightwing 13 and 14 will see Dick Grayson battling Lady Shiva, and the action will be written by Tom DelFalco, with art by Andres Gindalo and Mark Irwin.
I do want to read that one.
And Red Hood and the
Who doesn't want
Outlaws
to
number
battle their
14
girlfriend?
reunites the creative team of Scott Lobdell and Pascal Alexi.
Yes, and that series is actually going to also be involving Superman.
Oh, cool.
Oh, Red Hood.
Red Hood and the Outlaws. Yep. Because the preview covers, you've got Red Hood and the one other guy's kind of standing out here, and you have Starfire and Superman kind of floating up in the air back to back.
Cool.
So
Yeah, cool things coming up here soon. Yeah, so IDW Publishing lands Joe Paluca. He has signed a deal to publish the first full-length MMA comic book ever. Speaking of which, Andy has found a new book to read that unfortunately shouldn't exist.
hey, Heart was a good one. That was an MMA based one, and that was done by the chick over at G4. So Blair Butler.
Yeah. I was here Blair, and I immediately go to Herder for some reason.
So yeah, no, that was just a 4-issue thing, but no, that was really good.
So you're picking this up?
Probably.
Mm-hmm. Shocking. FF will start. Oh, sorry, I already did that.
Okay.
I think our lineups. I think we crossed the rivers.
Always.
This
with
is
the
what happens when you
stream.
cross the streams.
This November, prepare for an all-new chapter of the X-Men mythos and X-Men Legacy #1, kicking off the all-new ongoing series with acclaimed writer Simon Spurrier and Eisner Award-winning artist Tan Ang Huat with Marvel Now.
Marvel now!
Is it
Just what we need, another fucking X-Men book.
I thought Legacy was the one where they're coming back.
That I'm not 100% sure on.
Because I thought I saw this story, and they had the cover for it, right?
Yeah, and it was
I'm
kind
pretty
of
sure
like a
this is-
timepiece, and it was kind of shattered, and you had the different.
And then you have the
X-
guy in the straitjacket.
Did not see the guy in a straight
I'm a
jacket.
lot more observant, apparently.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's like the torn up pieces from older issues.
Here. Oh, what do you think of this? Pow!
Like I said, the toothpick's not gonna hurt at the start, but after an hour.
No, here, I'll just hit you with a toothpick, and now all of a sudden, cinder block right to the face.
What do you think of this? What?
However it gets done, what's it matter? Yeah, I think it is this one. I think this is the where they pull him back in time.
Oh, okay.
Or maybe not. Maybe this isn't. The star of the series is Legacy, the son of Charles Xavier, best known as a crazy guy whose actions led to the creation of an alternate timeline known as Age of Apocalypse.
Okay.
So maybe it is a different one. And that would explain the straitjacket.
Yeah.
And the, probably they're referencing.
Yeah.
So.
Yep, another one.
Basically what you said, who cares? It's another X-Men book.
Exactly.
I
Just can't get enough.
Nope. It's like...
Batman does another
Just
one. We
fuck
got to
it.
do another
I was gonna
one.
say, yeah, we don't need 5 or we don't need 14 Batman books. 5 of them just him. That's why I'm kind of hoping, as much as I don't want to see it go, that when Grant's done with Batman,
everyone's
done.
saying he's done.
Yeah.
When it's done, he's done.
Good. Which is sad because I'd like it, but
Yeah.
well,
But I mean, essentially, Batman Inc. is Batman and Robin.
it's starting out, but we all know what it's going to with that team of people.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm thinking maybe they won't let that one go.
We'll see.
But I mean, like,
But I mean, how many times can you tell the story of all the Batmans of across the world coming together? Okay, it's the Batman Justice League.
so that's awesome. It's a Batman Justice League. It's everything I wanted out of Justice League and Batman. No. Couple more stories here real quick. When Marvel, fuck you, kicks off in November, look for an all-new Avengers series by Kelly Sue DeConnick and Stefano Caselli with Cap, Iron Man, Hulk, and Spider-Woman.
Woo!
Marvel now!
God damn it!
You tried to preempt that way too strong, and he cut on. Wasn't just not subtle enough there, buddy. A little too much.
I think I got my new thing.
Yeah, no, you clearly do.
For the second time in 6 months, artist Tony Moore has filed a lawsuit against former collaborator Robert Kirkman over The Walking Dead. But this time he's looking for more than just unpaid royalties that he believes are owed to him. The new filing was made in federal court, apparently with the aim of securing more legal status as co-author of The Walking Dead, as well as other collaborations with
He
Kirkman.
just all of a sudden decided to fall off a cliff there. The Walking Dead!
Brit Battle Pope in 2 unpublished series Dead Planet, and my name is Abraham.
I successfully brought another one to my side.
Not really. This is just. This is angry. This is more anger than it is actual.
Kind of just
submission.
trying to be spiteful.
Yeah.
The worst part is, isn't Kirkman also writing Hunt? I'm pretty sure it's him and
Oh, I mean, it's Dead, Thief of Thieves.
then it is
Invincible.
Hunt if he's writing Thief of Thieves.
Yeah, he's doing Thief of Thieves.
And every freaking time I see Kirkman's name now, that's the only way I read it in my head. And it's your fault. And I was having a discussion about Hunt this weekend, and every freaking time when I would read it back to myself in my head, I would go, Kirkman! It's like,
Kirkman! I got poo!
Comics are done.
comics are done!
It's actually not his fault.
Comics
It's
are
actually
done.
Jonah's fault. Because he's the one who started this, and then told people to trend it.
Yeah, and
And-
just started to get it going, and I decided I was going to collaborate to that.
You sadistic bastard.
And that is comics for the time being.
Okay, we know how
and with
sad you are
that,
'cause you
that
can't
doesn't bring
contribute,
comic
but you let
news
it go.
to close for
No,
this
it's
week.
it's
But
been
make sure
going
you
on a
stay
lot
with us,
longer.
as we do still have our review of Persona 4 Arena coming up next. So stay with us, as we will be right back.